Are we gonna look sleepy?
I don't know. Hi, I'm Ronald Redmond.
Hi, Anali
Gaytan.
Gaytan.
And on this segment of... Nah, just kidding. Alright, so we decided that we would share from our perspective, each individual perspective, our story and how the Lord brought us together. So I'm gonna let since I'm a gentleman, I'm gonna let Annalie.
You're the one that always starts.
I'm gonna let Annalie.
So he's gonna start.
Go. Alright. This is gonna be alright. So.
Yeah, he has to start because his version is not correct. So I'm just gonna interject with the correct version.
So what had happened was we met at a party. She had just crossed into AEO, Christian sorority. And I was performing at the Battle House, and so we were obviously, as a member of Alpha Iota Omega, we know.
What's the Battle House?
I'm sorry, Battle House is UNC's campus. There is the Baptist Campus Ministry has a house, okay, and as a student I had performed there several times, and so I was rapping on a Friday night at a party, and I was a member of Alpha Iota. I'm a member of Alpha Iota Omega Christian Fraternity, which is the brother fraternity to her sorority. Anyway, see, going into too many details, but we're just trying to cover all the bases.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, I met her because they were introducing me to just kind of the new sisters, and I know, and so when I saw her, I was like, she's kind of cute. And then she kept a meaningful conversation. I mean, we talked for about 10 minutes or so, and that was about it. And so that night I kind of went home and Facebooked her and added her and sent her a message. I said, hey sis, it was nice meeting you. And I don't know what else I said, but just sent her a little message. Well, she didn't reply, but it's all good. So then got Crime Baby in the back. Shout out to Leslie Ann. Anyway, some sister-in-law, younger sister. Anyway, so then about a month and a half, during Christmas break, alright, during Christmas break, Annalie sent me a message, trying to holler at the bow. She sent me a message, said, "Hey bro, how you doing?" And I was like, I'm doing good. I'm just enjoying Christmas break. She was like, this was right before New Year's Eve, and so I was like, what are you doing for New Year's? They're bringing the New Year, and she was like, I don't know, just kind of hanging out with family, whatever. She's laughing, I don't know why, but so then I was like, yeah. So we're just back and forth conversation, and then I saw her number on Facebook, and so I did. I then put the her number in my phone and sent her a text message. It was like,
he's like, oh,
I was
hey sis.
I was like,
this is Ronald, your AI over there. I just saw your number on Facebook and I just took it down just in case you might need it.
So single men out there, you see the number on Facebook, just send her a message saying, just in case you ever need it, you put it in your phone. Anyway, I might have to cut that out. Anyway, so that led to about a 2.5 hour text, then back and forth, discussion, conversation, or whatever. And so by the end of the conversation, I was like, I'd love to kind of hear more about your story, your testimony, and so Annalie then proceeded to say, well, when are you coming to Chapel Hill? And I was like, well, I can come in about 2 weeks or so. And so planned the trip to go to Chapel Hill and took her out to B-skis, and we just had some conversation and just kind of getting to know one another, and that was good. After that, we went to Caribou just to kind of continue talking, getting to know each other, and then so that was it. That was the end of that night. The next week, I had an aunt that passed away in Greenville, and so I was passing through Chapel Hill to go to Greenville, and so I decided to stop for lunch and took her out to Noodles, and just more conversation. And even on my way back from Chapel Hill, I stopped again. She was studying with some friends, and I came by just to say hello. And then after that week, we began to talk on the phone a few nights. That kind of led to the third weekend. This is all in January. Third weekend in January, I just kind of I had intentions of just kind of taking her out and kind of being clear about my intentions, just letting her know that I had been trying to kind of get to know her, and I found a few things about her attractive, and so I took her out to, we went to dinner at a Chinese restaurant buffet, and then we went bowling with two friends, and so afterward I had planned on telling her while we were at the dinner, but it was packed on a Saturday night, and so it didn't happen. And then after bowling, it was like 12:30, 1 o'clock, and we were just exhausted, and so and so I had a fortune cookie at Chinese restaurant that said better late than never, and so I was like, all right, okay, I'm gonna still tell her, even though it's about 12:30, 1 o'clock. I'm taking her home. We're sitting in the car. I was like, you know what? You remember that fortune cookie that I had? I was like, do you think that's true? And she was like, yeah. So I was like, that was kind of my cue to like say it. And so I was like, hey, Anali, I've just been taking you out. I'm not this friendly with everybody. So I'm gonna let you know. I just want to be clear about my intentions, and I let her know that I liked her. I didn't say it that eloquent. That wasn't even eloquent, but I was like so nervous, fumbling all over my words. It was so bad that I walked her upstairs and got back in my car, and I was like, what just happened? Like, I just struggled clearly articulating myself. So I texted her. I was like, can you come back down? I said something. I didn't clearly say what I wanted to say, and so so she came back down. I fumbled around again, could not I guess clearly let her know that I liked her and that I wanted to be in a relationship with her. And so after that, because when I told her, I was like, I know, like, you're a woman of prayer, like, I want you to be able to pray about it so you don't have to respond. And so she didn't say anything, but then when she came back down the second time, she was like, I just want to let you know I've been praying about it, and I kind of like you as well, and I'd like to pursue a relationship, you know what I mean? And so from there, that kind of eased me. We ended up going to church the next day, and after church we had lunch, and that's when I was kind of, with no pressure, kind of re-say things kind of a little more clearly, and just let her know that I liked her. I just really felt like she was just a solid woman of God, and one that I would just want to pursue in a romantic relationship. And so we talked, and that began the day of us dating, which was January 30th. And so yeah, that was the beginning story, and just since then the Lord has just richly blessed our relationship. I mean, the foundation of us being together was, one, His will. I think we both really sought Him in prayer, and sought Him in prayer, and really wanted to be doing His will, and then from there, the first day we started dating, we went and got a Boy Meets Girl, a book that I had read before, but it just really, a lot of the convictions that I had about relationships I had got from this book, and so
which we highly recommend.
Highly recommend. And so we read this book together, and we were reading it, and that just kind of helped us, one, have a right perspective, a healthy perspective of courtship and dating relationships and how to do that, and it also helped keep us rooted and grounded and trying to please the Lord and pursue a relationship that was honoring and pleasing to the Lord.
Especially because this was like my first like Christian relationship. And,
yeah. And so that was just one of the things that was just really, really good to see that we both had that conviction. But then also just the Lord began to kind of show us just very compatible as far as just convictions, just about family and just so much of the Lord's grace is just there, and all of our relationship. And so, yeah. So we're gonna end right here. You might see this, you might not. Just kind of, we're gonna review it, and we might. I mean, so.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Main points.
Main point.
I was not trying to highlight the boat.
She was trying to highlight the boat.
I was not.
So praise the Lord for Facebook.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. We are engaged to get married. Yeah. Save the date, September 29th. If you or somebody that we love and know, we want you there. Shout out to Carrie Job. I see you.
All right.
All right.
Love y'all.
Love you guys.
Good night.
Good night.